Hello, I'm Dee Brown, CEO, and welcome to this episode of HBCU. Joining me today is Denver Williams from Mississippi Valley State University. Denver is the Director of Business Development for 413 Solutions. Also on the panel with me today is David Mosley. David graduated from Morgan State. David is the President of 413 Solutions and also the President and CEO of E. Smith Advisors. Gentlemen, thank you for being on HBCU today. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So we want to jump right in. Denver, I'm sure all the guests are saying, did this guy go to an HBCU or is this some type of trick D. Brown is playing today? But you actually graduated from Mississippi Valley State University.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about your journey. How did you end up at Mississippi Valley State?
Yeah, so for me, I grew up in a small town just a little north of Birmingham. Baseball was my first love as a part of it, and so my motivation was a push to the next level in athletics as a part of it.
Yeah.
In that pursuit, found an opportunity over in Itta Bena, Mississippi, at Mississippi Valley with Coach Aaron Stevens and Coach Doug Shanks, and they gave me the opportunity to be that Division I athlete as a part of it. And I think beyond the athletic side, subconsciously for me, I think that I wanted to expand kind of my horizons beyond the city limits where I was currently at, and Valley gave me the opportunity to do that.
Wow, okay. So David, talk to me about your journey to Morgan State.
My journey to Morgan State.
I know there were multiple stops.
Well, yes. we'll make this brief. We only have 30 minutes. So, but I started out at Coppin State, which is also HBCU.
Okay.
And because I'll just take a quick second back as well. A lot of us, my parents didn't go to college.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that kind of tutelage about, hey, what you need to prepare yourself for to get prepared for college. So in my senior year, my junior year, although I was an honor student, all that stuff, I started working a little bit more and spending more time on other curricular activities as well.
Yeah. And
the grades started slipping. So I was like, that'll be okay. So, when you send the applications off, not as many schools said yes as I thought it would.
Yeah.
Luckily, HBCU being Coppin State said, hey, listen, we're going to give you that opportunity. We know your grades slip. Things happen in life, right, occur. And they gave me their first opportunity. So I started my career there, and I was actually a psychology major. And I decided, once I learned how much a psychologist would want to make per year, I didn't think that was the right career for me. So I transferred. I took a year off, then I ended up transferring ultimately into Morgan State University.
Okay.
Which, now looking at that university now, it's massive.
Yeah.
And it's a fine institution even when I was there. But, ultimately ended up there at Morgan State and finished at Morgan State with a business major.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Denver, do you remember the day that you first set foot on Mississippi Valley State University campus?
I do.
Tell me about that day.
So I think one thing that was surprising to me is how flat it is out in the Mississippi Delta. It's one of those places you can watch your dog run away for days out there as a part of it.
Yeah.
No, I think more so as I got onto campus, being an athlete, being a freshman, we had to report early as a part of it. So there wasn't a lot of students on campus at that time, and I can kind of remember one of the first moments of kind of being homesick a little bit, maybe kind of having that question of, did I make the right idea, moving, 3 hours away from home, all of those types of things. And one of the things that kind of brought me back was that the way that our dorms faced, on those freshman dorms, the window faced out to the quad. Mm-hmm. And since the athletes had reported, some of the band had reported as well. And I remember from in high school, in high school football, we had a cadence as a part of when the football team would come out. And I was just laying there in my bed, had the window open, and the drum line was out. And the first 6 or 7 counts of the beat was the exact same cadence as my high school. Right. And then from there, it mixed it up to something that I never even heard before as a part of it. And so that sound, that tone kind of brought me back to something that was same. And then as soon as they finished up, you could hear everybody clapping as a part of it. So it wasn't just me that was experiencing that moment. It was so many of the others that were there, just like me, that were probably thinking the exact same thing,
right.
As a part of it. And so that was something to where I realized that, same but also different as a part. And I knew that was kind of a part of my first steps into growth of who I felt like I could be as a part of that journey.
Right, right. So David, what about you? I know you started at Coppin State, so that would kind of be your first HBCU experience. Talk to me about that first day on campus.
The first day on campus was, where do I go? Like looking for your classrooms, trying to figure all that out, asking friends for help, and getting there. Once being in the room, being in an environment of people who look like you, it gave a sense of comfort, and being able to say, hey, listen, you need help, we're here for you.
Yeah.
And being able to have that ability to have that access to those type of folks who want to help you, want to see you succeed, was made out to be a great experience in the first few years I was there.
Yeah.
So, and it was just a beautiful thing for me.
So Denver, most of the time when we have guests on this show and we talk about that first day, most of the time they say, well, it was just great being around everybody that looked like me. And you were actually in the opposite
Correct.
Position where everybody looked different. So how was that experience for you?
Yeah, I think even beyond that, where I came from in north of Birmingham, my high school wasn't integrated as a part of it. So it was an all-white high school. So going to an HBCU and obviously kind of flipping that percentage of now becoming the minority was something different. I think for me, it helped me gain an understanding of different types of realities that are out there for everyone as a part of it. And I remember that our assistant coach, Aaron Stevens, he used to always say same boat, same paddle as a part of it. And I think that me being a part of an athletic team obviously helped a ton, kind of developing that foxhole mentality with other people, regardless of what their color was or creed or any of those types of things, definitely gave me an advantage. But I think really just kind of being open to the experience, open to the growth is what really helped me. But it was different, but it was almost a good different, if that makes sense. It was an expansion and growth and an experience that I needed, that I almost craved, just given where I was from.
Yeah. So did you feel welcome? I mean, how did the campus embrace you?
100%. From the moment that we got on campus, help from all the way around, not only the athletic side, but also administration. I was the first one in my family to go to college as well. So again, setting up your classes, doing these scheduling, these little things that, unfortunately we didn't necessarily have the ability to learn. Everybody went above and beyond for us to make sure that our experience, much like for everyone else, was as comfortable as possible.
Right. So from a family perspective, how was that when you told your family, I'm going to Mississippi Valley State University? Was that
So the reason why it wasn't received as well as what it could have been is that I had been accepted to a D3 school, probably 15 minutes from the house. So it was more so of mom not wanting me to go 2.5 hours away to Itabena. But for me, like I said, my drive with baseball kind of being that first love was to put myself in the position to excel however I could in that vernacular as far as that end. And Valley was the best place for me as a part of it. So they understood as a part of it beyond kind of being further away from home than what they had liked.
Right. So David, you had kind of two first day experiences.
Yeah.
You talked about Coppin State.
Yeah.
So by the time you made it to Morgan State, you had a little experience under your belt.
A little bit.
Some good, some bad, probably, right? What was the first day like at Morgan State?
Back then, it was trying to get a class. Nothing was automated, or so. As coming in and trying to figure out what courses you're actually able to take was a challenge. I never forget that, going to admissions office and the line was wrapped around the building because no one said, hey, you need to be there like before the doors open. Didn't know that, right? Like, I'm showing them, it's 8 o'clock. What are you talking about? They were there at 6, right? They knew, right? They knew. And being there like, wow, you get there like, sorry, that's full. But luckily, I found out my second semester at Morgan, one of my neighbors was working in the admissions office. And she took care of me from there on. I got every class I wanted from there on out. It was smooth sailing.
So every HBCU campus, has a different feel, different flavor. What were some of the signature events or things that happened on the campus of Mississippi Valley State that you remember most?
Yeah, I think that maximizing the quad area for different events, whether it's concerts, whether it's having speakers come in, it was always something going on. There was always something that you didn't have to look for anything to do as a part of it. And I'm sure that it's like that in other places as well, but it just felt like kind of the variety of things, whether it was music, whether it was food, any of those type of pursuits, there was always something available and something to do as a part of it.
What about at Morgan State?
I'm pretty sure it was a lot to do. I was working full time. Most time I'd try to get my schedule on a Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday schedule. So I can work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To pay for college and living on my own, whole 9 yards. So I would literally get to campus at 8 in the morning, take all my necessary classes, be done by 3 or 4, and go to work and do my homework in between those times. So I would peep out on the quad and see everybody on lines and stuff like that. That looks fun. Gotta go to work.
Right.
You know, I would be able to walk across the Welcome Bridge every once in a while, go to the library, which, you know, being able to go across the Welcome Bridge there was, you know, part of the institution of Morgan State as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, spending a little bit of time as much as possible just hanging out on campus, but I didn't have a lot of time to hang out there.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had more time to hang out on campus and not as much work as much. I've always worked multiple jobs all my life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just in my DNA as an entrepreneur. I guess it started early, right? Most of us, right? So, but, you know, I've always started working early on and just had to pay for college out of my pocket and didn't want to take any loans. So I worked like 2 or 3 jobs during college, scheduling it so I can get done and get completed without debt.
That'll help you finish college sooner as well.
It's a little bit of a motivation to,
Right.
to stay focused. I like my son right now.
Right. Well, you know, you just call home and cash out.
Right. Yes, different environment right now.
Yeah, right. I'm
right.
going to take 3 classes this semester.
Right, yeah.
So what about, David, the teachers, the faculty, the staff? What were they like at Morgan State?
Man, it was a great environment because, you know, oftentimes I was tired and I couldn't turn some papers in. And they allowed the flexibility to give me an extra day sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to kind of bring it back and turn it in. And working with you as well about, hey, you don't understand, meet me this class hours or meet me before class a few minutes and I'm trying to go over it with you. And in class, you know, our English, our business major group, you know, we're like all helping each other. You know, if you can't make it, call me later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened in class.
Right.
So we formed a great, tight-knit community within ourselves there. And we also say, you know, if the teacher's not there in 10 minutes, we're out.
Blame it on the teacher.
Blame it on the teacher. We're out. But, you know, but we formed a great community amongst each other and supporting, help each other because we all want to see each other succeed.
Yeah.
As well as professors, you know, they want to make sure that you're there to accomplish your goal and succeed.
Right.
And be their coach as much as possible. Spend next time just talking with you and help you understand. Because econ was a beast for me.
Yeah.
It was a beast. And the professor would sit down with me. I would, you know, sit down with me sometimes, meet me off campus sometimes, and say, hey, let's talk through it. You know,
Yeah.
and help me walk through it. Which I don't see that happening potentially at other institutions.
Right.
The extra care they put in for that time was great.
Denver, what was it like for you as it relates to just the student body, the faculty?
Yeah.
What was that whole experience like?
Yeah, I think that, you know, for me, obviously, I had an advantage being in athletics. As a part of it, you're also held to a different standard as well as a byproduct of that. So I'd like to think that, you know, we benefited, but we were also kind of held in a different regard than others because you had to hit a certain GPA, you had to hit certain hours in order to be able to qualify.
Yeah.
Not the work type of schedule situation, but when you do think about kind of the schedule of a student athlete, you have the travel, you have all of these things. So being able to have the type of professors that you can build the relationships with, that care and understand those types of things. I'm not asking for special consideration, obviously, but just understanding kind of what's going into the scheduling, what's going into the byproduct of the deliverables that come out. I think that was well recognized. I also believe that as a part of us kind of growing and learning when we're there, because especially for me, I didn't have an idea as far as what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to play baseball. I think that a lot of them helped kind of guide and shape and at least show different options, because I was able to take some courses and realize that there were some things that I knew I did not want to do, you know, with my time and life. And they definitely took the time to make sure that, that we were set up for success as long as we do the work.
So David, talk to me about graduation, after you graduated from Morgan State, and what was your first professional career?
Well, after graduation from Morgan State, my first career was selling life insurance.
Okay.
And I was still working at TGI Fridays as well. You know, I gotta have 20 jobs.
Right.
And I never forget this. So I was working for, can I say the name of the company?
Yeah.
Life of Virginia.
Okay.
And you know, I was so excited to have the profession, life insurance. I heard about all the things you can do and money you can make, whatever. And the gentleman, I was the only African American in the office. I showed up my first day. He handed me a telephone book and said, here's your office and here's your phone. My office was inside of a closet.
Wow.
So he pulled the phone inside the closet and gave me the telephone book and said, there are your clients, make the phone calls. That was my first job, my first day.
So I imagine you made a career of that.
Yeah, well, I made a start of that. I mean, it was a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
You got to go out there and eat what you kill.
Yeah.
And I started that profession, life insurance. I got securities license, 65, 63. Became a financial planner, not with the same company. I grew from that to another company. But I grew a book of business where I was dealing with a lot of high net worth clients. And then I decided to begin a different path. I ran into, if you want me to go a little further,
Yeah, sure.
I ran into a few partners, a few friends who were starting a home infusion therapy company. I had the business background, they had the pharmacy side. So we all put up $1,000 each and we started a home infusion therapy company, right? I wrote the business plan, the structure. They had the pharmacy background. And just so you know, the home infusion therapy company is when you get discharged from a hospital and you still need therapy at home, IV therapy, chemotherapy, whatever it may be. We would make the compounds in our office and provide the nurse and the therapy to go out to your home so you can get care at home.
Gotcha.
So we became the largest home infusion therapy company, African American owned, within like 5 years, over 20 million in revenue. And we were the largest chemo provider to most of the hospitals on the East Coast. A lot of folks didn't know it was a black company supplying them, so, which was great for us.
Yeah.
We won the Black Enterprise Award for Emerging Growth Company of the Year as well, for all the work that we did there. So that was really my first, from the financial planning, advising, managing cash flows, to starting that first company with all my ventures there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Denver, once you graduated from Mississippi Valley State University, what was your first occupation?
Yeah, so mine was a little different. Again, pursuit of baseball was the kind of the top priority. Wanted to obviously get drafted and go to the major leagues as a part of it. That wasn't necessarily in my cards. I did have the opportunity to get drafted by the Regina Red Sox, which is up in Saskatchewan, Canada. And so I spent 6 months with them and another 3 months with the Pirates organization up there in Saskatchewan. That was kind of my turn of the run, was about 9 months, about how long that cup of coffee lasted. A great experience. But from there, I realized that my time was done as an athlete. So I entered the workforce with Synovus as an underwriter for them with the bank. Worked there basically just doing underwriting, a little bit of teller work, customer service, but those were my main duties, is just underwriting housing loans and auto loans as a part of that daily function.
Right. And so David, kind of fast forward in life, so now you are the president and CEO of a variety of organizations, but 413 Solutions, E. Smith Advisors, et cetera, et cetera. Talk to me about those particular ventures.
So E. Smith, the entities itself, E. Smith Advisors, we did the first joint venture with Newmark back in 2017. And we wanted that to be a minority-owned, minority-led commercial brokerage company. Newmark has never did anything like that before. It's their first time. They usually acquire companies, acquire businesses.
Right.
And just let's take a quick step back. Emmett Smith and I had a brokerage company in Dallas, it was a small boutique. So we wanted to kind of expand beyond that. And we started searching out what made sense and partnering. So they were the right partners for us.
Yeah.
So we were able to put that partnership together, become minority certified, have brokerage around there. We have offices in Philadelphia, New York, Baltimore, Dallas, and opening one in California as well. So we're doing very well in representing major corporations in South America, Canada, et cetera. So we're excited about that footprint, the opportunities that provides for us, and continue to grow that platform as a brokerage company. But in addition, on the 413 Solutions, which this guy works for me as well.
Right.
And we work together as well, opportunities.
Right.
413 gives us continues that relationship within the real estate space for us. So, we're taking our development experience and bringing that to bear to clients as well, developing opportunities and projects, but also expanding into the energy side, which I'll let Denver talk about that if you choose to as well. So, we were able to touch the real estate piece from cradle to grave.
Yeah.
Bringing all the components together is necessary to kind of help make one-stop opportunity for the client. And then other hat that we're venturing into It's Trilogy Food Good and Beverage.
Right.
I'm managing partner there, where it's our Emmett Smith restaurant. Restaurant's gonna be open in Vegas.
Do you have the
Las Vegas?
Do you have the opening date yet?
Construction is right now, but we're targeting the end of August for opening.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll get an invite.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. or I'm just gonna drop in, let y'all turn me around at the door. So Denver, I know you are passionate about renewable energy, and in your role as Director of Business Development for 413 Solution, you're overseeing a number of programs, including some for us at the P3 Group. So number one, talk to me about how did you become so passionate about renewable energy, and then talk about your role at 413 Solution.
Awesome. So from my side, at least when it comes to the energy sector, had obviously always been very heavily involved in the financial side of things and financial structuring. Had the opportunity to create our own development company around solar energy back in 2015. That really kind of moved me into the space. I started to understand how to use money for a purpose as a part of it, and so that was a big push for me, because before it was just really ones and zeros that were kind of moving around a page.
Yeah.
When we associate that with what we're doing in the renewables energy or in the renewable space, it really gives a purpose and a function to where those dollars go. That led us to a life of doing some development for the Dallas Cowboys organization as a part of their energy sectors, which led to the opportunity to be able to meet Emmett Smith and David Mosley as a part of it. Right. Come on board with these guys as a part of their growth with 413. And so now, as kind of the push for 413 Solutions, our goal is to help our clients, investors, and then all of the stakeholders that are involved in these transactions basically meet and achieve their goals, whether it be economically or environmentally,
right,
by utilizing technologies like solar and renewable energy paired with other types of technologies.
Right. So David, as the leader of 413 Solutions, where do you see that enterprise going?
Well, that's under our umbrella. We have a lot of we're adding on a lot as we speak as well. So, just under the development arm, we're expanding into more food groups in the real estate space, the hospitality piece, housing, and industrial as well. Hopefully, so we're seeing ourselves expanding there in that place and just continuing to forge there in opportunities, and potentially looking at QSRs. So there's a lot that we have on our umbrella that we're continuing to expand that footprint. But more importantly, continue to expand what we're looking to do here in the energy side as well, because that's very important,
right,
to what we do, and is crucial as well in making a difference in the environment.
Oh, well,
so that plays a key role.
Making a difference in the environment, and also transforming communities and institutions in the process. Denver, just to kind of close out, what do you want to see happen in the energy sector as it relates to 413 and being the Director of Business Development? You have about a minute to tell me.
Yeah, no, I think yes,
just
sir.
Keep it real nice and neat.
No, I think as we have the push of environmental and social governance that's coming into the market itself from the private and the public sector, I think being a good partner for those clients and investors, helping them navigate that market, because it is new for many people, as a part of it, and then ultimately just making sure that we're bringing their vision to life as a part of it, and not only creating solutions that meet the goals of today but exceed them well into the future.
Absolutely. And, David, Denver, it's been great having you all on the show. I appreciate you all taking time out your busy schedules to come in and be in the studio and be part of this show. But what I do want to do is I want to recognize both of you all for all the work that you have done and all the success you have had in business, and what you have done to show a continued commitment to historically black colleges and universities. So it's my pleasure and my honor to award you all the HBCU Lifetime Achievement Award. So thank you all so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And to my viewers, thank you for watching this episode of HBCU. And remember, without you, there's no me.